For thousands of years, cultures around the world have linked certain plants to sexual vitality, roots that were said to restore masculinity, leaves believed to awaken desire, extracts passed down as symbols of strength, fertility, and endurance. Sexual health, more than almost any other area of medicine, has always lived at the intersection of biology, identity, confidence, and belief. And when something feels deeply personal, when it touches self-esteem, aging, or intimacy, belief-driven claims spread easily. This video is not here to mock tradition. It's not here to sell supplements. And it's not here to promise outcomes. Instead, we'll respect the historical beliefs, then carefully ask a different question. What does modern human science actually show? Where is evidence supportive? Where is it limited? And where does caution matter? Why these beliefs persist? There are several reasons herbal claims around sexual function persist so strongly. First, placebo and expectation effects. Sexual performance and desire are strongly influenced by mindset. When someone expects improvement, confidence alone can change perception, especially in short-term studies. Second, stress and performance anxiety. Stress reduces libido and erectile quality. Anything that reduces anxiety, even indirectly, can feel like it's working, regardless of the biological mechanism. Third, marketing narratives. Sexual health supplements are often framed around aging, masculinity, and natural restoration. These messages are emotionally powerful, even when scientific support is weak. And finally, anecdotes feel convincing. Personal stories are vivid, memorable, and emotionally compelling, but they are not controlled experiments. They cannot tell us whether an effect is real, reproducible, or safe. That's why science exists, not to dismiss experience, but to test it carefully. What science actually measures? Before discussing herbs, it's critical to understand what studies actually measure. Sexual health is not one thing. Researchers distinguish between libido, sexual desire, and erectile function, physiological response. And finally, satisfaction and quality of life. Hormonal markers, like testosterone, which do not automatically translate into performance. Most studies rely heavily on self-reported questionnaires, such as the International Index of Erectile Function, IEF. These tools are useful, but subjective. Objective measurements are rare, difficult, and expensive. Study limitations are common: small sample sizes, short durations, mixed populations, inconsistent formulations. And an important point many people miss: statistically significant does not always mean clinically meaningful. A result can reach statistical significance while producing only modest real-world change. Understanding this distinction protects people from over-interpreting weak data. Herb-by-herb evidence review. Human data only. Panax ginseng. Traditional belief used in East Asian medicine for vitality, stamina, and sexual strength. Proposed mechanism: mild nitric oxide modulation and central nervous system effects. Human evidence: multiple small randomized trials and meta-analyses suggest modest improvements in erectile function scores compared with placebo. Strength of evidence is low to moderate. Key limitations are small studies, variable preparations, and modest effect sizes. Safety considerations: potential interactions with anticoagulants, hypoglycemics, and stimulants. Can affect blood pressure and sleep in some individuals. Ashwagandha with Aenia somnifera. Traditional belief: an adaptogen associated with vitality, fertility, and stress resilience. Proposed mechanism: stress reduction via cortisol modulation. Possible indirect hormonal effects. Human evidence: limited trials suggest improvements in sexual satisfaction and semen parameters, particularly in stressed populations. Strength of evidence is low. Key limitations are small sample sizes and often secondary endpoints, not specific to erectile dysfunction. Safety considerations: potential thyroid effects and interactions with sedatives or immunomodulatory drugs. Maca, Lepidium mayennii. Traditional belief: a Peruvian root associated with libido and fertility. Proposed mechanism: unclear, possibly neuroendocrine modulation without hormonal changes. Human evidence. Some small trials show increased self-reported sexual desire without measurable testosterone changes. Strength of evidence is low-key limitations are subjective outcomes, short durations, and no clear physiological pathway established. Safety considerations. Generally well tolerated, but long-term safety data are limited. Tribulus terrestris. Traditional belief marketed for testosterone and male virility. Proposed mechanism. Saponins proposed to influence androgen pathways. Human evidence. Most controlled trials do not show meaningful testosterone increases. Some report small changes in libido scores. Strength of evidence low. Key limitations are inconsistent formulations and marketing claims exceed data. Safety considerations. Reports of liver and kidney injury exist. Interaction potential with cardiovascular drugs. Epimedium, horny goatweed. Traditional belief, used in traditional Chinese medicine for sexual vitality. Proposed mechanism. Icarian has PDE5-like activity in laboratory models. Human evidence. Human data are sparse and limited. Most evidence is preclinical. Strength of evidence is low. Key limitations are lack of robust human trials and dose variability. Safety considerations. Cardiovascular effects possible. Interaction risk with blood pressure and heart medications. Ginkgo biloba. Traditional belief associated with circulation and cognitive enhancement. Proposed mechanism, vasodilation and platelet effects. Human evidence, some benefit observed in antidepressant-associated sexual dysfunction, not general erectile dysfunction. Strength of evidence, low to moderate. Key limitations are narrow indication and not broadly applicable. Safety considerations, bleeding risk, interactions with anticoagulants and antiplatelets. FDA-approved treatments for erectile dysfunction have large trials, reproducible outcomes, known dosing, and safety profiles. Herbs do not match this level of reliability. That does not mean all effects are imaginary, but it does mean expectations must be realistic. Natural does not mean safer. Modest effects may feel meaningful to some individuals, but herbs are not equivalent to regulated medical therapy. Science is about proportional claims, safety, ethics, and boundaries. Sexual health supplements carry unique risks. Drug-herb interactions are common, especially with cardiovascular, psychiatric, and antihypertensive medications. Adulteration with undeclared pharmaceuticals has been repeatedly documented in sexual enhancement products. Marketing ethics are a concern. Fear, aging, and vulnerability are often exploited. This is why pharmacists and clinicians emphasize evidence, transparency, and restraint. Science does not erase tradition, but it does define its limits. Belief can shape experience. Hope can influence perception. But evidence protects health. Understanding what is known, what is uncertain, and what is risky allows people to make informed decisions without promises, pressure, or fear. If you found this helpful, consider subscribing for more evidence-based health education focused on science, safety, and informed understanding.